Good evening, guys. And I do mean evening. It is like 12 midnight right now where I'm at. Uh, but I wanted to get this out of the way for you guys and talk real quickly about Volume 12, Shadow Apocalypse, which I just finished today. Started it yesterday. I am on a roll, you guys. Just getting all these books out, read, because I have still 150 plus books more to read. But let's get down to it because I have to get to bed. Volume 12 covers, it says 1999 for some reason, but it also covers the year 2000. So it's 1999 to 2000. It's about 19 issues involved. Wolverine 133 to 149. You also got Hulk number 8, which crosses over from Wolverine 144. You got I don't know if you'd call it a graphic novel, but it's like a special double-sized story involving Cable. It's called Wolverine Cable Guts and Glory, or Wolverine Cable, like Wolverine / Cable, and that's it. But I think it's technically supposed to be Wolverine Cable Guts and Glory. I don't know. I didn't come up with that. And what else? And that's about it. So yeah, 19 issues are packed into this book, 504 pages. Primarily, it's written by Eric Larson of Savage Dragon fame. Of course, he's also an artist, for those of you who don't know. But in this volume, Eric Larson is pretty much just the writer, along with Eric Stevenson, Jeff Masuda, who does the artwork for the first 6 issues, which was 133 to 138, which was the Great Escape storyline, where this alien being from outer space, her name is Arya, takes possession of Wolverine, has him battle Carol Danvers, who at this time was kicked out of the Avengers, and is going by the name Warbird instead of Ms. Marvel or Captain Marvel. She's Warbird. Then Wolverine, possessed by Arya, goes, like, he fights toe-to-toe with like the Human Torch, Solo, Cardiac, members of the New Warriors, members of Avengers, and yeah, it's on Earth. And that's in issue 134. Then 135, 36, 37, and 38, he goes up in outer space, deals with the Collector, who is actually trying to save the last remaining species, you know, of races and whatever up in outer space from Galactus. So this whole thing, which starts off on Earth with Wolverine getting possessed by this girl, ends up with him helping that girl keep Galactus and the Collector from destroying these last remaining species. It's a weird storyline. It's called, again, The Great Escape. It's a 6-part storyline. Goes from 133 to 138 of Wolverine, and it's pretty good. It's not a Dark Phoenix saga by any means. It's not a huge epic, but it does span, you know, from one locale to the other, from Earth to outer space. And of course, there's a showdown literally with Wolverine versus Galactus, which you have to read it to believe it. Yeah, Wolverine by himself takes on Galactus, and the Collector's involved, as I mentioned. And then there's some, you know, one-off stories. 139 has Wolverine with Cable. 140 has Wolverine with Nightcrawler. 141 has Wolverine with Jubilee, and they take on Donald Pierce, who comes back, and this dude Kyber, who looks like a cyborg Wolverine from the future. Then there's the 12 Wolverine. No, sorry, Wolverine. Apocalypse the 12, which was when Apocalypse was trying to assemble 12 mutants together to give him the power to take over the world or the universe. I remember that too. That was like right at the end of 1999, early 2000. And then right after the 12 storyline came the Ages of Apocalypse, which is also featured here. 145 actually features sorry guys, I'm drawing a blank here. Let me go back a little. 144 of Wolverine crosses over into Hulk number 8, which is the simple 2-part crossover. 145 is a 25th anniversary celebration of Wolverine's first appearance in Hulk 180 or 180, that's what it was, in 1974. So we're celebrating 25 years from 1974 up to 1999 of Wolverine being in Marvel Comics. And then that leads into the 12 storyline with 146, 147. 148 is Ages of Apocalypse. And then 149 is just a simple one story. The Ages of Apocalypse issue in 148 was interesting because it was like the new Fantastic Four, Wolverine, Ghost Rider, Spider-Man, and the Hulk back together. But of course, Ages of Apocalypse is if everything just, you know, Cyclops and Apocalypse got merged and became one, and then Cyclops died, and it just threw the realities into chaos, and then that's what happened. And then 149 was what was it? It was just Wolverine and Nova of the New Warriors, and the New Warriors also show up to take on this dude Reanimator. And it was a little you know, but a lot of good stories abounded. You know, Wolverine pretty much doing his best to be mentor to a lot of characters. I was gonna say Cable, the Wolverine Cable Guts and Glory one just had a nice little story of Wolverine and Cable, I guess, meeting for the first time. They never met before in that story. Because Cable just came from the future for the first time, and he had long hair, and then he cuts it, and he meets this dude named Frank who takes him in, and you know, Wolverine and Cable deal with this character from the future. Was it Devon Cray? His name was Devon Cray. That's the dude's name. And Department H tries to bring him back to life in order to make him like a Weapon X sort of operative for Canada. But of course it goes completely wrong, and this Devon Cray tries to hunt Cable down. So it's pretty good. This is Guts and Glory, I'm talking about, the very last story of this volume, which is volume 12. Pretty good stuff, guys. 504 pages. I got to read it within a day from the time I started it, which is yesterday. Finished it today, and I spent a lot of hours doing it. Which is why I'm home. I just got home, and it's already midnight. So that's pretty much it, guys. It's pretty cool. At one point, oh yeah, I didn't even mention the important thing. Wolverine actually became. It was interesting. The story was in X-Men and Uncanny X-Men, they discovered that a Skrull had impersonated Wolverine, and they discovered it, and the Skrull died. And meanwhile, Apocalypse had abducted Wolverine and turned him into one of his horsemen, which was Death. And it's ironic because Warren, Archangel, was also Death way back in the X Factor days, the early 80s or the late 80s, about 86, 87. But in the early X Factor days, I'm trying to say, when the original X-Men were part of X Factor. So, what was it? I just read this today too. Angel gets possessed by his wings become like light. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys. Just check it out for yourself. It's in this volume. It's kind of, I think it's out of print now. I found this in one of my comic shops here in the city, but you can always get it online, guys. I highly recommend it. This is actually one of the better stories. Really, really fresh stories and material. Wolverine, of course, really clever and sharp-witted, no pun intended. Oh yes, and he does get his adamantium back with issue 145. So from Wolverine 75 to 145, 70 issues, Wolverine has his bone claws. Finally, because of Apocalypse making him Death, making him one of his horsemen, he gives him back his adamantium, and Wolverine, of course, breaks free and gets to keep his adamantium. It's not like Apocalypse took it back, you know. So Wolverine finally has his adamantium claws back. He's got a skeleton, but his healing factor is acting kind of wonky again, so he's slowly dying. He's from poisoning, from the adamantium poisoning. But of course, we all know that he'll make it through and carry on, soldier on, whatnot, because that's what Wolverine does, because he's a fucking badass. So that's done, guys. That is volume 12, Shadow of Apocalypse. And I will now be moving on to this one, which I cannot wait. It is called Blood Debt, volume 13. Volume 13, and I'm really looking forward to it. You can see Spider-Man makes an appearance with Wolvie. Deadpool is going to make an appearance, and I think that's, who's that? Is that Garrison Kane? That's Weapon X, right? I'm not sure. God, look how big his arms are. And of course, Rob Liefeld did this. You can just tell this is a Rob Liefeld art job here. So, God, Gosh, and we have what, Steve Scrosey, Scrotum. I don't know what his what his last name is, but Eric Stevenson is there. Jenkins, I think maybe Paul Jenkins, right? Paul Jenkins. Hold on, let me see. Paul Jenkins, right? Paul Jenkins. Yes, Paul Jenkins also writing. Rob Liefeld, Ian Churchill, and Kubert. Let's see if it's Andy or Adam Kubert. Let's see. It is Andy Kubert. So Andy Kubert is also part of this volume. So we got a good selection of writers and artists. Man, the steroid arms right there. Look at that. So this is my next book that I'm reading, guys. Volume 13 comes right after Shadow of Apocalypse. It covers 150, which is an anniversary issue right there, 150 to 158, annual 99, and Wolverine: The Origin 1 to 6. So that miniseries from 2002, which takes place in the 1500s, which tells the story of Wolverine as James Howlett. That's his real name, James Howlett, James Logan Howlett. And I think also Sabretooth is in it. So I'm really, really looking forward to it, guys. Yeah, see, look at that. This is like, I remember I actually bought the 6 issues of Origin. And I think Sabretooth was called Dog, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe Logan was Dog. But yeah, when they were kids, that beautiful artwork. I can't wait to read this. From 2002. Yeah, and this also takes place between 1999 and 2002. So we're now kind of getting in the modern era. It's still a classic epic, guys, but we're kind of dipping into, not even kind of, we're not kind of, sort of, we are stepping into the modern era of comic books. And Wolverine is doing that right here. So I should be done with this by, I'll start reading tomorrow. So what's tomorrow? What's Thursday? I'll probably be done by Friday. So expect a review on Friday, guys. And that's about it, guys. Short and sweet. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I would go into great detail, more detail with these things, but I got to get to bed. Have a great night, guys. I hope you all are having a good time reading your epics. Please let me know in the comments what questions you have as far as these volumes that I'm reading, and I want to know what you guys are reading too. All right, guys. Have a good night. Bye.